Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm DJ Kiz Walsh and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video discussing the brand new Denon DJ Prime GO. So Denon have done an absolute madness over the past few days. They've released 5 products in the space of about 48 hours and it's been absolutely crazy for the DJ scene. Loads of new products, loads of new things to discuss, but today we're going to be discussing the Prime GO. Before we get into today's video though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications on so that you never miss a video. And of course, drop the video a like and leave me a comment of exactly what you think about this system. So the Prime GO is a very, very unique system. It's something that I have never ever seen before. It is quite incredible in terms of how it looks and the idea behind it. You know, when Denon were sat down at a table and they were discussing this thing, I could only imagine the ideas that they were flying around the room, and the fact that they've settled on this is crazy, and it obviously shows that they're willing to innovate, they're willing to take risks. So Denon Prime GO is a 2-channel standalone DJ system. It has a battery in there, so it can run for up to 4 hours without needing to be plugged in to any sort of electricity. It's the first thing of its kind, really. I mean, we've seen things before, obviously, like controllers where you plug them into your laptop and sure, it'll run off your laptop battery. But a standalone system that doesn't need to be plugged into the mains, doesn't need to have power running to it, and can last off a battery is something that is very, very unique. And of course, it's something that we didn't even really think about we wanted. No one's really spoke about, hey, let's make these DJ systems battery powered. Let's give them charge and let them run off a battery that's in the system. Everyone just kind of accepts that these things need to be plugged into some sort of power, but then I've gone, no, today we're releasing something that actually runs off battery, which of course is something that we didn't know we wanted, but who knows, it might be a really good thing for the industry. So first of all, this thing looks alien. It looks nothing like any other, I say, DJ system in general. You know, we're so used to having a mixer down the middle with the EQ and all the volume controls down the middle, players on each side, and usually we have some effects at the top, performance pads on the bottom. This thing has just completely flipped every sort of plan and every sort of thing that we're used to see on a DJ system on its head, and they've decided to completely redesign how we see DJing and try something completely new. But really small jog wheels, and they've got the performance pads above that. They then have all the EQs above that, and then they have a huge screen in the top middle of the controller, which probably is the biggest feature of this system. It is a 7-inch multi-touch screen, so you can pinch, for example, the wave format, make it larger, make it smaller, depending on how you like to mix. Of course, that screen is really good quality, and you can change the brightness depending on if you are using it battery powered or you're using it plugged into the mains. Another one of the main features of this thing is it actually runs off Wi-Fi, which means streaming is enabled. Now that kind of loops into the whole system and kind of makes it make sense, because if you think about this thing, it is realistically made for wedding DJs, events DJs, right? Because realistically, because of the size of this thing and because of the weird layout, creative DJs, club DJs aren't going to be playing on this thing. It's more made for like a professional use, because if you're a wedding DJ or an events DJ and you're often getting requests, people coming up to you asking for random songs, you know, usually you'd have to carry around thousands and thousands of songs with you to hopefully fulfill those requests. Where now, the fact that they've enabled the Wi-Fi and enabled streaming on this thing means that you can play any track in the world at the touch of a fingertip. So someone could come up to you and ask for something completely random that you've never heard before. You search that, obviously, on the screen, and it will bring up that track. You load it on, it will analyze that track for you, and then that track is available to play. That in itself is something completely revolutionary, because it does not matter where you are, it doesn't matter who you're with, it doesn't matter where you're playing, who you're playing for, you're going to be able to play any track, anytime. Now that is something incredible. Obviously, Denon are trying to introduce that with the new Prime series that they've all just announced, but the fact that you can do that on a battery-powered system is incredible, and it's just quite mind-blowing, really. This thing is really small, however. It's like the size of a laptop, so like a 15-inch laptop, which is, it's got its own positives and negatives, right? So obviously, a smaller system generally has less features, it has less performance pads, it has less everything, really. However, the fact that it's smaller means that you can fit it in a bag. It means that you can fit it in the boot of a car next to you. It means you can fit it on the plane with you, right? So although it is small and that does come with its own negatives, you've also got to say that also comes with its own positives too. The size could be an issue, but again, if you're a wedding DJ, an events DJ, which I believe this product is aimed at, then that's actually perfect, because you're going to be traveling around, you're going to be carrying a lot of, speakers are heavy, you're going to be carrying a lot of equipment around. A big DJ system, a big DJ deck, that's another thing you have to carry around. Well, guess what? Now you don't. Now it's a smaller system. You can fit it in a backpack, you can fit it in a small bag, and it's just less things to carry, less things to worry about. Of course, this thing has all the typical performance features and effects that you would expect. Of course, has color effects, beat effects, has performance pads with stuff like rolls, hot cues, all the stuff that you're used to seeing on smaller DJ systems. Again, because this thing is small, one negative of that is that the jog wheels are really, really small, and so is the tempo adjust. Again though, this thing I don't believe is created to do really high performance mixes, to do creative mixes. This thing is for playing music. This thing is for being at an event, being at a wedding, and being able to take requests, being able to play any track in the world. So, realistically, those jog wheels are kind of fitting to what the controller is meant to do. And the same goes for the tempo adjust. However, I've seen videos of the tempo adjust. You can get really tight mixes on there, get it up to really high BPMs, really low BPMs, and it does sound great with that new key locking ability that Denon DJ are bragging about. There is unbalanced and balanced outputs. Again, this points towards this being a professional DJ system. USB and SD inputs are what's available on here. And of course, the whole thing runs off the Engine Prime software, a software that's getting more and more powerful every single time that Denon DJ release a new system, because they are upping their game, they're putting more money into it, they're evolving that, and they're just making it better and better. This thing is really sitting on its own in terms of what it looks like, things it can do. And maybe this thing is going to be big, maybe this thing is going to be the future. So for me, one of the big things about this system is it actually costs $1,000. Now, I was actually surprised at that, and I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed that it came in at that much money, because it is quite a small system, and I felt that Denon DJ have been releasing loads of high-end products. They've obviously just released their new flagship players. They've also released a Denon DJ Prime 2. And I was hoping for a lower end product. I was hoping for an entry level, either controller or an entry level system. And I'll be honest, when I first saw a picture of this, when I first saw this thing pop up, I thought, this is it. This is Denon's answer to the entry level, But not only are they going to just give you a controller, they're going to give you an entry level system. So they're going to give you a touch screen. They're going to give you the ability to analyze tracks without needing a laptop. And then I heard the price of $1,000, and I'll be honest, I was just disappointed. I was hoping this thing would come in at $500, $600. Now, of course, it does a lot for the money, right? It's the revolutionary side of this thing and the things that it's doing that no other system can. Of course, that costs money to innovate. That costs money to make that sort of thing. So Denon DJ have obviously got to charge a fairly high price for this. And of course, the professional use of this is going to attract people, wedding DJs, events DJs. So obviously they need to charge a fairly decent price for this. But again, I just feel like Denon are kind of letting that entry-level market just be pioneers. Pioneer have been coming out with so many good entry-level products, and Denon DJ have just gone, okay, you have that, we're going to work on our high-end products, which I kind of understand, boss the top of the market and let it trickle down from there. But, I thought that Denon DJ were going to release the high-end, the mid-end in the Prime 2, and then hopefully a low-end system. They've not done that with this release. I'm guessing they will do in the future, maybe later on this year. But this is definitely not it. This kind of sits in that XDJ RX2 sort of range, the DDJ 1000. It sits in that sort of price bracket. It sits in that sort of professional sort of use. So you've got to compare it to those sort of products. Because if we were comparing it to like the Pioneer entry-level products, in terms of size, they obviously look very similar, but price and features, they're just miles apart. And it's obvious that Denon DJ have created this for a professional use that is portable. And they've basically made the Prime series, the Prime 4 and the flagship players, they've condensed all of that down, all of the features, all of the ability of those things into a really small system that's portable for professional use. So yeah, I definitely think this thing is amazing for the DJ industry. I think it's good for the DJ market. Whoever needs one of these things is going to be over the moon that they can now get a system that can stream Wi-Fi and it's portable and it has a battery life. Like, this thing definitely sits in a league of its own, and it's definitely going to attract a customer base of like something that maybe hasn't been tapped into yet. So there you go. Let me know what you think about this DJ system down below in the comments. It's one of the weirdest things that's ever got released, so I'm definitely interested to hear your opinion. Again, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, and drop the video a like. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, my mind's blown about these last few days and what Denon are doing, but you know, hopefully good things for the DJ industry in general. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Bye bye.